both instances. I don't even know how to start. Because we were having a conversation earlier. We had a conversation when I was heading to the VA. And I think there's certain issues that need to be spoken about, certain issues that, like I said, having freedom of speech is something that everybody should be afforded. There shouldn't be no reason why people are not afforded that. Everybody has the ability to listen in, and everybody has the ability to talk. Everybody has their opinion. Now, doesn't necessarily mean that everybody agrees with your opinion, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that you have to disregard others' opinions. The whole situation with hold on. The whole situation going into the whole beard issue. That's what started it. But the Butch, I still can't believe she really said that in a committee. But this is what started this whole trend and this whole conversation. It was just basically people talking about the issues of like a bleach blonde, bad built Butch body. Now that I have it as the title of the whole stream, but it's just interesting, and it's an interesting take to get at and to look at because of the fact that it's just like, you know what, this is how society is right now. This is how society is looking at things. This is how society is let me just say, this is how society is now starting to portray speaking to people or speaking about people or dealing with the issues that we are currently dealing with. Instead of actually having discussions with people, it is becoming more of a name calling or a shit talking session than actually getting stuff across or getting points across or actually interacting with people to the point where what you're communicating is actually being understood or is not being misinterpreted, or it's not being said to be misleading, or it's not being said to be hate speech. Because, like I said, the biggest issue right now is you got issues with Israel and Gaza. You got issues with the LGBT community. You got issues with the military. You got college students. I'm not going to say rioting because they're peacefully protesting and it's their right to do so. But they're being treated as, you know, basically like looters, I guess, because you got the police showing up, you got SWAT teams showing up, you got a lot of people showing up to these issues, and it's just like, you know, it's a different take when it's like, hey, we are doing this on purpose because we support terrorists. And I'm not going to say for all because I can't speak for everybody, but I know a lot of these people are not supporting the terrorists. A lot of these people are out there doing these marches and speaking and posting videos and all that stuff is because they are speaking on the children. They are speaking on the issue of innocence being caught in the crossfire, basically becoming collateral damage. Where if you see a lot of news outlets, you have a lot of news reporters and a lot of news anchors which are grilling, and I would say grilling certain constituencies that are stating what they're stating. Basically, they are agreeing with what's going on in those places. You have the same thing with like the beard issue. You have people stating that they agree with the fact that you shouldn't be in a position of leadership because you have a beard. You have, and like I said earlier, that falls into a big realm. Like we have so many different things where people are not being allowed to speak and it's being held back from speaking because somebody else doesn't agree with it or because it was something that's been done before and people just see to it as like, well, it happened before. There's no issue with it. I think that's an issue within itself because it's just like, okay, so you're saying because it happened before, it's okay to continue happening. And that's where the problem lies. Because you have people coming out, like I said, with the beard issue. That one alone is a problem. I see a bunch of I'm by a military base. I see a bunch of people with their uniforms, clean uniforms and everything, and they got their stuff. So that's one issue that is just like, they're there. They have their uniform. They're clean. They're professionally. They look professional. Which, like I said, that's one word that's pretty interesting to put into terms when you say, "Oh, a person is." When you say a person is professional, what does that mean? What is the definition of being professional or looking professional? There's no set guideline, no set standard as to what looking professional is or acting professional is. In the case of the committee, these are our representatives, which are basically resorting to name calling in order to get somewhere. So if you are name calling somebody in Congress, how much respect do you really have? Because the thing is it's funny because it was mentioned on both sides. One was like, oh, hey, you have fake eye, maybe your eyelashes are getting in your way of, I forget exactly. I don't remember it word by word, but she said something about her eyelashes, and that's what was causing her to speak the way she was. And then the other one retorted with the same thing. But one thing I didn't know is like when a person strikes their words, if that happens, basically they stop talking. They're not allowed to continue speaking in that committee hearing if it gets to that point. So now with Marjorie Greene, she was just basically being disrespectful. And that's the thing I was trying to allude to, is just like, so just because somebody doesn't agree with what you got to say doesn't mean you have to become disrespectful. That's like some kindergarten level kind of communication where you are getting upset and resort to name calling because you don't agree with what somebody is saying. Now, if you don't agree with somebody saying, understand that you don't have to say something. It's not necessary to always say something. You can stay quiet. You can just be quiet about it and not say anything and be like, you know what? Understood. I got it. But then as times there's like, hey, why is it that this person is continued allowance of speaking this way? This person is a representative. This person is representing a state in the U.S. I forget what is she from? South Carolina, I think, or North Carolina. I believe she's from one of the Carolinas. I can't remember which state it is she's from. But you're allowing her to speak in that manner to another representative in Congress. Now, this little instance I know was heard across the world, and people have seen it. People have seen the little snippet of the interaction where they're basically yelling, and the man loses control. The man don't know what to say. You got people laughing at the response of the bleach blonde, bad built Butch body response. And it was just one trying to be a smartass professionally, and the other one was just trying to be disrespectful. They were both being disrespectful, but it was just the manner in which Marjorie Greene said it compared to the other representative. It's just what's her name? Jasmine. Hold on, Jasmine. Let me get her name so I get her name right. So it's Marjorie Taylor Greene was talking about fake eyelashes to another. It was a Democrat. She was saying, okay, so she's from Texas. The Democrat is Jasmine Crockett from Texas, and Marjorie Taylor, stand corrected, is from Georgia. So they were just having a spat, and they were just going about something, and Marjorie Greene was just being disrespectful, saying, oh, I don't think you know what you're here for. And then she hit her with the, oh, I think it's the eyelashes thing. Which is like, you're representing your state. So you as a state representative are speaking on another congresswoman in a negative manner. And the thing is like, that's when it comes to like standards in anything. Standards in the military, standards at work, standards at anything. You have a standard of basically not being able to talk about somebody like that or disrespect somebody in that manner while you're doing it. While you're in the committee hearing, you are not supposed to speak on or go against somebody or just like talk about features of a person while in there. Basically, you're supposed to keep it diplomatic and talk about the policy or the issue at hand. You're not supposed to attack somebody on what they said what they're saying or what their belief is or whatever the case. That's not the point of being in those committees. But you have a congresswoman that believes it's okay to do that. There's no reprimand for that. And that's where it comes into, and it leads into, hey, the military, you have that issue. The Gaza issue, the Israel issue, the college students issue. When they have something to say, it's like, oh no, that's wrong. We can't listen to it. But then if it's a certain person that says it, well, she said it, we can't do nothing about it. That's when it becomes an issue. Because now you're allowing that person to continue to have that mentality. And then people see that, her constituents see that. Some of them probably may be proud of it. Some of them may not. Some of them may be proud of the Texas constituents may be thinking, hey, that was cool of her to say that back. And maybe not. But at the same time, there's no place in that in Congress for something like that. I was like, you're supposed to be representing your state. You're supposed to be the top-notch representative, the top person in your state, that you are representing this country. And outside the world, you are viewed as, hey, you are in power for a state. Now, when you come across that manner, which one of them is saying, like, there's more to it. They continue talking. It's like, oh, she's racist, this, and that. I don't think it has to do anything with race. It just has to do with the fact that it's just like she said something she wasn't supposed to, and it was against standards. It was something that she knew she was not supposed to do, but did it anyway. Leading us to the beard issue. Service member has a medical profile that says he can have a beard. Now, having the beard, does that make you less of a professional? Does that make you less of a leader? Does that take away your ability to be responsible? Is the matter at hand here? Because at the same time, any civilian employee, because you have tattoos, does that mean you can't do your job well? Because you have an ear piercing or a nose piercing, does that mean you can't do your job well? I'm just trying, because it's like, where does the line stop? Where do we set this line? It's just like, oh, it's the military, it has its rules and regulations. I'm like, these guys are within the regulations. If they have a beard, it's because they've gone to medical, gotten seen, and it says you can have a beard. Why? Because you have ingrown hairs. And I saw a couple of people explaining it, and it's just funny because you have so many people that are so unaware of what the regulation is or what the standard is that they just go off of what somebody else says. And that's where we have the problem. Marjorie Green just thinks she could just say whatever she wants to. And then people are just like, no, we have to make sure she don't say nothing again. But then it's just like, they asked for an apology. She didn't feel like she had to apologize. So when you have the ability to speak on that level and stage, and you don't think you have to apologize or you don't think you're ever wrong, I don't think you should be in that position. Like I said with the whole Israel and Gaza thing, collateral damage, it's war. Got it. We were at war. We've been at war for the whole history of this damn country. We've been at war, basically. There's more years that we've been at war in the United States than we haven't been at war. So the crazy thing about it is that when we were at war, there was collateral damage. There was ongoing things. But the thing was, I never recall having the U.S. ever being charged or even the word genocide connected to the United States when it came to war. When it was war, it was a clear-cut thing like, hey, we had these people and we were fighting these people. And sometimes when you were in Iraq or in Afghanistan, there was no clear-cut distinction between who was who. Like, some people were just regular day people. Some people might have been trying to blow you up. You didn't know the fucking difference at times. Now, Israel and Hamas, Israel and Gaza, there's a distinction there. You know who's trying to do damage and who's not. It's mostly a one-sided affair because you see that the Palestinian people are being driven farther and farther out of the country. So it's not where it bothers me is that people are claiming that, oh, we are getting rid of Hamas. Get rid of fucking Hamas. Ain't nobody got a problem with that. Fuck them up. No problems there. The problem is what you're doing is you still pushing out people that have nothing to do with it. You're hurting people that have nothing to do with it. You're killing people that have nothing to do with it. You're destroying infrastructure. You're destroying hospitals. You're destroying universities. You're destroying all this stuff. But the problem is that then, like I said, with freedom of speech, when I try to say these things, I'll probably get demonetized. This video may get demonetized. The last one may get demonetized because of what I'm saying. Because people are just going to be like, you know what? You just hate the Jewish community. And no, I do not hate anybody. I don't hate any race. I don't hate any culture. I don't hate any ethnicity. I don't like liars. I don't like ignorance. I don't like people that try to take advantage of others. And that's where I make that stand, that it's just like, hey, if you have a problem with Hamas, fucking destroy Hamas. No problem there. But you're doing it to innocent people. And that's where I have a problem. The other thing that most people don't like to talk about is, I don't remember many times, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not entirely sure. The US actually killing UN officials or peacekeepers while at war. It's not like it's happened one time. The World Feeding Kitchen, or the WFC, that was made by the chef, they lost people when it was a convoy of food that was being aided, that was being taken to Gaza, because they're starving. The people don't have food. They don't have resources because it's being blown to pieces to have any infrastructure for them to survive. You had a UN and a peacekeeper and humanitarian, basically nonprofit, get killed trying to transport food to a location. For most people, they'd just be like, oh, it was a mistake and stuff like that. For most people in the military, it's a different thought process. Let me explain. When you go on a convoy or anything like that, you're in a war zone, even when it's tactical training, it gets explained that, hey, when you're leaving the FOB or you're leaving base or your area operation, there's a trip ticket. There's something saying, hey, this many people are leaving with this many weapons, this many sensitive items. That's happening regardless. Now, you mean to tell me that Israel did not know that there was a convoy, which is a corridor that was known for humanitarian aid, was having people cross through there, and they didn't know any better, and they ended up blowing up the damn vehicle and shooting up the vehicle with drones? Now, that's kind of ignorant to say I didn't know that, because it's like, you knew they were going through there. They had to clear it with you to go through there. It's not like, now I understand if it was just like, hey, they said, no, we just went because we just said fuck it and went. No, they cleared it with the IDF to make sure, hey, we can go through there. So now you hit a UN nonprofit peacekeeping people, because they're not tied to anything, that you knew was transporting, and you killed them. But then you just say, oh, it might have been an incident that we weren't hit. But it was aid that was hit. And then people don't realize, it's just like, well, if you stop aid from one group, the other groups are going to be like, damn, we have no safety to go there. So now they're going to keep on losing humanitarian aid because of the fact that, hey, if these people got bombed and they had it on their vehicles, basically saying, even though it was at night, still not an issue for me, because they knew they were traveling through there. You still had these people died. Humanitarian aid stopped for a bit. So now people are still suffering, which they're not getting food, they're not getting water. And this is what this nonprofit does. They just go as humanitarians to all over the world. Wherever there's a disaster or anything, they go and they take people food, their food. And not just any regular like bread, water. No, they make sure to make food of that culture in order to bring it to their people, so that their people can feel some sort of resemblance, or some sort of, okay, this can be better, or we can be better. Because they bring them their own cooking, their own cuisine kind of food. It's not like a humanitarian where it's just like bread and water, here, you're good. No, these people actually cook meals where it's, hey, what Palestinians eat. That's what they take them to serve. But they got that transport got bombed. So it's just like, me saying these things and a lot of people not being aware of it, because a lot of the news ain't covering that stuff. A lot of the news is not saying those portions or those things that need to be said about these issues, because it's one-sided. Everything is just like, oh, if you speak against the IDF or anything like that, you just are anti-Semitic, which is the big word now. Anti-Semitic is the big word being used and thrown around for everything. And like I said earlier today, if we are using the word anti-Semitic for everything because you don't agree with what we're saying or you don't like being criticized, that takes away from the meaning of the word, and it falsely accuses people of being racist or anti-Semitic. You can't just label something as, oh, I don't like this, I don't agree with you, so you hate me. Where's that line going to be crossed? Because the thing is it happens with a lot of groups. Like I said, the LGBT community, there's been people that have done that. The Jewish community has done that. Black community, minority community. There's always a community. There's always somebody that says, oh, just because you dislike my stance, you hate my kind, or you hate my people, or you hate my... And it's sometimes people have to be called out on stuff, and some things have to be said in order to provide clarity that, hey, it's not that we hate you. It's just that we don't believe in what you're saying. I have my right to say that. The same way they have their right to say that. But the thing is if what I'm saying right now, if somebody sees it, they're gonna be like, oh man, this guy just hates these people. And I'm gonna be like, I clarified it that this is not what I meant. I don't hate anybody. I'm not trying to hate on anybody. I'm not trying to cause hate. I'm not trying to bring hate towards any group or anything like that. But when you say it that way, people are just gonna be trying to knock it down. The other thing is that with that, it's just like me, I'm a military veteran. And how I ended the last, like the little talk when I was going to the VA, it was just like, hey, the reason I said what I said is because I love this country. I love my military. I enjoyed serving this military, and I enjoyed defending and standing for this Constitution. Now, when I'm not able to talk, or when you're not able to voice your opinion, that's where it falters. That's where we have an issue with the whole Jewish community thing. When politicians are putting bills into play that basically say, hey, if you speak against the Jewish or Israel, that would be considered either a misdemeanor or a felony because you're talking against them. Now, I'm not sure how that works because of the fact that it's like, so you're saying that me speaking out against somebody because I don't agree with them would be a crime, which takes away from the First Amendment. So basically, you're going to restrict my rights as a United States citizen, a United States veteran, from saying what I have to say because I don't agree with it. That's a slippery slope. That's when we get into the issues that we have now, where things get passed, policies get passed, laws get passed, where there's nobody saying anything about it, so people just think it's okay to just continue with it. And that's not the case. And that's where we need to realize that, hey, something needs to be said to these people. Somebody has to have that conversation. The thing is if when you try to have a conversation, the first thing they do is get offended and they don't agree with you and you just hate them, then you'll never be able to have a conversation with people because they don't allow you to get to a level of professionalism, as they like to say, the word of the day, I would say. But that's also where that's where it ties into the military. That's where it ties into the military and this whole thing with Master Sergeant Parker. If y'all don't know, y'all probably can search it on Reddit. Just Google it. His face will probably pop up. The issue being that he is trying to fight the system when it comes to beards and talking on the issue, where he was denied his position, a position of leadership, because of the fact that he refused to cut his beard and retake his picture. Now, in the case of that, that's just discriminatory. I don't really know how else to put that. There's no other way to say that. And a lot of people won't agree with that. A lot of people will say, no, that's not real. No, that's not true. It was just like, but if somebody says something to allude to the fact that it's like, yes, I discriminated on you because you had a beard, but then it's okay. We go back to the Senate, the Congress. You know you weren't supposed to say it, but you said it anyway, and you knew you were saying it just to be disrespectful, knowing that you shouldn't have, but you did it anyway because you knew nothing was going to happen to you. That's why we have the issues within the military at times, because people are no longer afraid to say what they have to say. People no longer are hesitant to speak on the issue. This generation, like I said in the talk earlier, which I'll leave that as another episode of just me driving and doing it. But every generation always says the next generation is worse. So it's always there. It's always says. And the thing is a lot of the people, the thing that people don't understand is like with these new coming generations, each generation is becoming better than the last. The last one doesn't want to admit that. They want to be the crown jewel, but they don't want to admit that they're getting surpassed. I know for a fact this next generation is going to be better than my generation. Why? Technology has a factor in it. I didn't have the resources to be able to, hey, type this up, go to a search engine on the internet, get an answer. Now we have AI. A lot of the stuff that we had problems trying to do and figuring out, a computer is going to be able to do. So now you're going to try to take away from that. You have no way of saying no to that. Now, let's say you weren't able to say what you wanted to say on the next generation, because then they're just going to be like, oh, you hate us. Some of y'all do hate them. I ain't gonna lie. Some people just hate the generations that come after them. And some people just hate people just to hate people. One funny thing I did hear once through the military was one guy was just like, they accused him of being, I think I was either racist or favoritism or something like that. And he was like, that can't be possible. I hate everyone equally. It's hard to fight that. But at the same time, you full of shit. But people are calling you out on it. This service member serves his country. I'm not sure how long he's been in the military, but he's been in for a while. He has his beard. He has a profile for it. He hasn't cut his beard. And now you are trying to take away that from his ability by saying, oh, he's being disrespectful. He's taunting on TikTok. He's making all these videos. And it's just like, if no name is mentioned and you are stating that the service member is taunting or gloating, I was just like, I don't recall it being a wrong thing for you to be excited or happy about the fact that you made it to a position that you were told you were never going to make it to. Now, if somebody tells you, oh, you're never going to amount to anything, and you amount to more than they ever did, damn right you're going to gloat about it. Damn right you're going to feel proud about it. Now, the issue is like, oh, it was in military uniform and stuff like that. I was like, this man talks about his time in the military. I've spoken about my time in the military while on the podcast. Different situations, different scenarios. I just had somebody reach out to me because they were just like, hey, man, I see you doing good outside the military, and it makes me feel a lot easier knowing that I know you, I can talk with you, and I can get information from you because you always helped out while you were in. I haven't spoken to this guy in like 2.5 years. And this guy just reached out to me for that. And it was just like, you leave I don't even know how to put it. You just put that mantra around you, and those people around you see that. They see it like, you know what? This person is a person I can depend on. This person I can believe in. This is a person that fights for me. This is a person that fights for soldiers. This person is not gonna just talk shit just to talk shit because they know they can't talk shit. AKA Marjorie Taylor Greene. Georgia at its finest. It was just like, when you select these people to be in these roles and these positions of authority, it's like they have to come with a level of professionalism. The professionalism means there's no discrimination that comes from it. There's no hatred towards people. There's no there's no hatred, no discrimination, no bias, no nothing. But it's just like, when you have people that do that, it's just like, okay, now you're saying it's okay to be biased. it's okay to be discriminatory. No, it's not. You call people out on that. That's what he's doing. He's talking about like, hey, because I have a beard. And it's funny, like I said, in my own situation, I got laser therapy on my face because I knew it was going to be an issue. My own fucking platoon sergeant was telling me this. Like, hey man, I don't like the beard, man. It was like, look, I'll get bumps too, but you can shave it and you can get electric razor and I don't get no bumps and this and that. You don't need a shaving profile. Because I knew it was going to hinder me in that place, I decided, you know what? I'm not going to get the shaving profile. I'm going to go get laser therapy and try it. What that should do, I got an uneven beard now, and I got scars all over under my chin that are covered by my hair because of this laser therapy. Because I chose to get laser therapy instead of going to get a medical profile that said, hey, you can grow your beard because we know you grow ingrown hairs. Now, that leaves the discussion of like, hey, if people are being discriminated upon because of their beard, what else are people being discriminated upon? Because the thing is the conversation isn't being had about there's discrimination going on. The conversation being had is like, hey, let's tear this guy down so he doesn't look legitimate, so that it looks like he wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. Mind you, he had already served in a first sergeant position. He's already done the job elsewhere. He just didn't have the diamond or the actual rank and position of it. But he was doing it at a lower position and did a great job at it. So because a person didn't want to cut their beard and take a picture, they were upset about it. And then we go into that sergeant major that blatantly said out in a video, if a soldier showed up to my promotion board, which I was holding it, and they had a beard, I would kick them out. So that sergeant major just confessed about being discriminatory because of a person's beard. Because the issue is like he says, I have a beard, I have a shaving profile, and I shave. So when you have leadership like that basically you have a medical profile that says you're allowed to grow it, but you go against it and shave anyway, you think you're above everything at that point. Because basically you are given a profile saying that you don't have to shave, but because you don't think it looks professional, you shave it anyway. So what was the point of getting the profile in the first place? So that you can grow your little beard when you wanted to? Or when you choose to because you're a sergeant major? Is that how that works? Because then the thing is there's other things like the professionalism. I haven't seen any soldier not be professional because they have a beard. Some soldiers are just knuckleheads. It doesn't matter if they have a beard or not. But if you're basing it off of, hey, this person has a beard, he's not going to be a good leader, we fall into a slippery slope there. Because then the thing is if you have these people in leadership, who else have they denied positions? I myself have witnessed when it comes to women in the military, where some women were outperforming their male counterparts. But why didn't they get the position? Because they were a female. That's discrimination also. We don't talk about it though. That's one of those things that's just like, hey, when I go against and I talk about the military, people are just like, oh, Cruz, you just bitter. You didn't make it in the army. Or whatever. I've been told so many things, just like, oh, you're just a hater. You just like, you weren't amounting to anything while in the military. And it was just like, I love when people say that because it's just like, they don't know my story. They don't understand that I progressed in the military faster than a lot of people ever have or ever will in the military. Before they started just promoting people to promote people, I was getting promoted before those steps were in place. I was a non-commissioned officer for 5 out of the 10 years I served. Out of those 5, 4 of them I served as a staff sergeant. One as no, actually no. I got that. Let me backtrack. 7 of the years I was in the military, I was an NCO. 5, I came in as an E3. So I came in as a PFC, got a waiver to specialist because I was doing battalion DTS and battalion schools as an E3 when it's supposed to be a sergeant first class or a staff sergeant doing it. So I got my waiver at 18 months. After that, 6 months later, I got promoted to sergeant when I went to the board, and they already knew I had the responsibility and I can hold it. After that, I waited the year and a half or 2 years that you needed to before you can go to staff sergeant, and then I was a staff sergeant ever since that. So I spent 5 years as a staff sergeant out of the 10 years I was in the military, and then 7 years out of the whole time as an NTO, which a lot of people can't say that with the time that they spent in the military. But that's just like, I didn't get discriminated upon. They saw the hard work. Now, would I be able to say I would be able to accomplish the same thing if I hadn't grown a beard? Or if I did grow a beard? I can't say that. But I know I've seen people get discriminated upon because they had a beard. There's a bunch of sergeant majors that, and people can tell you the stories, even if it's people that was like in older eras, the different eras, they can talk about the issue of, hey, you had a beard? Well, I need you in my office and I need you to bring your profile so I can check to make sure that you are within regulations. The regulation don't change. The profile may, because it depends on how bad the person has bumps. Because it basically says in the regulation that you can have it up to 1/8 of an inch. You're supposed to allow it to grow 1/8 of an inch or up to 1/4 of an inch. The reason why as 1/8 of an inch, and I saw someone explain it, was due to the fact that when you shave, even though if you cut it shorter than that, your hair can still curl back into your skin, which causes those razor bumps. Pseudocystis, I can't even say that word. Pseudocystis or something. The problem with razor bumps, ingrown hairs, that's what it basically is. That's why it's the 1/8 so that people can cut it to that point. The 1/4 is basically, hey, that's the maximum you can grow it to. Doesn't mean you have to grow it to 1/8 of an inch. That is what's basically like, it's like the recommended amount so that way they know it doesn't curl back in. If you cut it shorter, chances are you're going to get more bumps. The thing is depending on who you are, depending on who your leadership is, it might differ for you. They might accept the fact that you have a shaving profile, and some of them will just not like you for it. And the thing is nothing matters with that. But then when it comes to talking about professionalism, like I said, the word of the day, it's the fact that you have overweight NCOs. You have NCOs that have gotten DUIs or continue to drink and have issues. You got people that have beaten their spouse, beaten other people. You have people that can barely pass their APFT or their ACFT, whatever the hell they want to call it, and update it to. That's not professional. If you can't meet the standards, that's basically a failure for professionalism, at least in my eyes, because, everybody can claim what professionalism is for them. So for some people, it's having a beard isn't professional. For me, it's just like, hey, if you can't pass your PT test, if you don't look good in your uniform, if you can't actually lead soldiers, that's part of the professionalism, because that's what you signed up to be, was a professional. As a non-commissioned officer or as a officer or commissioned officer, you are there to lead. You are there to be a professional. So when you're dipping in the building, which by regulation you're not supposed to, that's against regulation, first off. But that's professional looking when you have somebody chewing dip or walking around like this with a damn spit dip in their mouth. That you call that professional, but you draw the line at beards. But then you have people, those same people that you want to go up against can pass their PT test, do their job with no issue. But then the people that don't do their job and are overweight, can't pass their ACFT, those are the people that it's okay. But beards is a problem. Like I said, it goes into the question, it's just like you're discriminating on people for that, but it's not spoken about. Because the thing is, it's easier to knock him down, and it's easier to say, oh, this guy didn't do what he was supposed to do. His beard is the problem, or the way he was talking about it is the problem, instead of actually addressing the problem, which is the issue that a lot of the military has, where this is why, like I said, we always go back to retention. Retention is always the biggest thing. Nobody wants to join the fucking army now because of issues like this. If you're being discriminated upon because of a beard, imagine those soldiers that made that one mistake that got discriminated upon. Never got another opportunity again because they made a mistake. How many of those have not exited the military? How many soldiers have not made a mistake, owned up to it, took in the punishment, and then still get treated differently because of that one mistake? Now, certain ones, there's no excuse for it. DUIs, I have no excuse for them, because you can kill somebody. You can kill others. You can kill yourself. You put people in danger with that. Everything else, if it's like, hey, you disrespected an NCO, I want to be there for some of these disrespect to NCO Article 15s, because for one of them, it was just, I know this was happening with Germany with the piece of shit first sergeant that we had over there. The soldier called the commander bro. So he tried to tag everything possible onto this guy from previous counseling, stuff that they said was already done with. They tied it up to try to kick the soldier out. Now, the soldier was wrong. I understand that. But you were being disrespectful towards him, which is the other line. Like, hey, if you're going to get me for being disrespectful, at least let me be disrespectful so that I can get my money's worth if you're going to get me the fucking punishment regardless. Because it's like, if you found that to be disrespectful and I didn't even say anything, you didn't hear the worst part of it, or you haven't heard the worst part of it. But people don't understand that. And it's like it loops all the way around, back to Marjorie Greene Taylor. You being disrespectful in a committee hearing just because you can be, just because you want to be, but it doesn't get addressed. You having a beard and them saying that you can't get the job because of it, if you don't say nothing, it doesn't get addressed. If you are a female that is outperforming their males and still doesn't get looked at the same position because you're a female, that is something that needs to be addressed. If you are being said that you are committing genocide or you are committing war crimes, that's something that needs to be addressed. It's not that people are trying to brush it under the rug. It's not that people hate you for what you do. Nobody hates you because you're a female. Nobody hates you because you're a male. Nobody hates you because you're a beard. Nobody hates you because you're Jewish. Nobody hates you because you're black, white, Chinese, Asian, African, South American, from the North Pole, even though I know there's nobody there. There's no country that claims the North Pole or ethnicity that I know of. Because, hey, you can believe in what you want to nowadays. But the disrespect that's still being placed and being allowed is what causes these issues. The issue that we're not able to talk to people and resort to the fact that it was like, hey, some things just need to be said. There's certain things that I've said that I've probably messed up. There's things that I know I haven't been right about, but then I've felt and I've corrected myself because I've seen, okay, you know what? Somebody, so-and-so said this. I didn't agree with it. I didn't say I hated them. I didn't say I disagreed with them. I didn't try to be disrespectful towards them just to make them look and make them get angry just because I was wrong. I've never done that. But a politician doing that, that's kind of, that goes above and beyond what we should be getting into and what we should be dealing with. It should never be the case where I am dealing with a politician or any of the sort where what I say is being held or used in a manner to say that I am trying to hate on the group. I love the military. I can't say I love the military, but I enjoyed my time in the military. Like I said, I would love to hear people say, hey, I want to join this organization. Right now, you have issues like this that are coming to light. A lot of these issues have been in place for decades. And it's not just because people want to say it. It's just like people say, hey, people can't put on a pro mask and That's the reason why we have this issue, because the pro mask is the issue. You can't put your mask. Bullshit. You can seal the fucking mask. Don't. I was like, maybe back in those days, back in the day, the masks were not as good as they were now. You can fucking fit a mask with a beard. It seals. You can fucking survive in that. The same way some people's hairline, because the one thing that got me, like, that really irritated me about people saying with the pro mask is like, oh, the beard. I was just like, not everybody has the same hairline. Some people have smaller heads, some people have bigger heads. Some people, their hair goes over where the mask seals. But that's not an issue. The mask still seals, even though they have hair on the side of their head that goes into the mask. Shit, I got my pro mask right over here. I could throw that shit on. Matter of fact, we gonna do this. And this is what we're gonna do. So clearly, y'all seen it sealed. Y'all seen I have a beard. You seen it still sucked onto my face. So right here with this pro mask on, I just showed y'all that with a mask, you can still have a seal. So, and mine is definitely not just 1/4 of an inch short. I'll tell you that much. But that's where, people will say things just to say things, just to disprove somebody's ability to lead, their ability to be a professional. And that's something that people need to understand. It's just like, you cannot say that people are not professional because of a beard. I can say people are professional when they just want to talk shit about somebody in a committee where you're not supposed to be talking shit, or calling people out, or speaking on anything specific about a person. You're here to be a politician. You are setting the wrong example. In the military, denying somebody the ability to progress because of a medical condition they have, that is discriminatory. We have the damn Disability Act and Workers' Compensation Acts that we have on purpose for that, because there was discrimination that was going and laws were changed. Now, the same thing probably has to happen with beards in the military. We were able to get women into combat MOSs. You know how hard of a fight that was, and how long that was probably going on for, and how you still have people now that discriminate probably on those females that are serving, but nobody talks about that. Those females won't talk about it. You know why? Because the thing is now, if those females go ahead and speak out, that's the end of their career. That's the end of their opportunities. I was like, oh, you called me out and say I was discriminatory. I was like, well, what are we going to do? We're going to send you on this mission, or we're going to send you to another unit. You ain't going to be a part of this unit. You may be combat qualified, but yeah, we don't want you in position of leadership. Now, don't get me wrong. Some leadership is open to it. Not all. But that's a form of discrimination that doesn't get spoken about. Now, if you are a female and you are trying to progress, and your ability to take care of things, your responsibilities, your capabilities are being denied just because you are a female, that's a problem. Same thing with a beard, that's a problem. If all those things are being tied into you, basically saying that this is the reason why you have this issue, or this is the reason why we don't want to put you in front of anything, any formations or any company or anything like that, because you don't want to cut your beard, I don't understand how that's not like a equal opportunity complaint being put in there. But what did they do? They counseled them for taunting and for gloating about getting the position. It was just like, the man is excited. You have the right to be excited. The problem with the military is sometimes it's like they expect you to just be a robot. People have feelings. Everyone has feelings, whether they like to admit it or not. Do we agree with them? No. Do we hate them because we don't agree with them? No. But when people start making it seem that way, that's where we have those issues. That's where it's hard to get with people and communicate with people and get things together, where it's like, you know what? there should be no reason why you have these issues with people. Should be no reason why you cannot do your job because of that. I just showed y'all. You can fit into one of those things with a beard, and this motherfucker out of regulation like crazy. You can fit into it. Is that an issue? No. Is that a problem? No. But y'all making it a problem. Y'all make it an issue. Y'all make it that, oh, this has to be taken care of or this has to be said in order to say something. But if something doesn't get said, people think it's okay. People have a right to freely protest. They're not inciting a riot. They're not causing damage. They're peacefully protesting. Now, if we can't peacefully protest, we have issues. If we can't talk on the issues, we have issues. If we can't have a discussion on issues, we have issues. If we can't sit down as people and talk straight to face about something and say like, oh, you're against this, you're against that, and it's just like, yeah, that's a problem. Because if you feel like you are being attacked with everything that is being said about you, then that says a lot about you. It's not that you're being attacked, it's just that you feel like you're being attacked with everything. That says a lot about you. You understand it and take it as, oh, these people are against me. No, we just disagree with you. There's a difference between being against somebody or disliking somebody and disagreeing with them. The thing is the way society is right now, it's difficult for people to actually disagree with somebody without them thinking that they're being attacked. Like I said, all the different groups, all the different communities that are fighting for rights, fighting for equality and stuff like that, it's an uphill battle. Yes, there are people that dislike you. There are people that actually dislike these groups, that hate these groups. And then there's people that just don't agree with what you're saying. And the thing is there has to learn, or there has to be a way to differentiate it so that will be established that. Because my ability to have free speech is something that should not be taken away from me. I should be allowed to say what I want to say. But at the same time, if I'm wrong on something or something is not agreed upon, we should have a discussion about it. Because the thing is that discussion may lead to me understanding you better or you understanding me better. Doesn't mean it's going to be correct. Doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but at least I now know where you're coming from and you can see where I'm coming from. Even though you don't want to hear where I'm coming from, I still want to hear where you're coming from, because then it might enlighten me, and then maybe from what you say, you understand and see what you're saying to then understand where I'm coming from or my perspective. Which, like I said, not every perspective is the same. Not everybody understands the same. Not everybody sees things the same. And that's something that has to be differentiated between it, because if you're not allowed to speak or you're not allowed to voice your opinion, you are muting a group. You are muting a person. You are muting a possible option. Let me see. Well, I just got a message, but I don't see what his message. Okay, I see it now. So it said, I suffer with PTSD, but I swear I'm never disrespectful. I feel my true friends died, and the ones I have left don't consider me a human being. It's hard. So that the thing is just like, it's hard to deal with those things, because the thing is people don't understand that. People don't see that. People don't understand the fact that it's just being able to talk to somebody is something that people don't understand. Hey, Average Ginger, I'm here. You can talk to me. I'm here. I have no problem with talking to people. I'm always here to have a helping ear or talk to people and just like hear them out and just like, hey, give them a shoulder to speak on and stuff like that. Because the thing is just like it's difficult in cases like that. You bring up a good point where a person with PTSD can be discriminated upon because you say you have PTSD. And that's wrong. And that's what I'm saying. It's just like this. That's like how the whole conversation is going. It's just like the discriminatory factors that come towards certain people because of a certain thing is something that needs to be taken away. And it's not that anybody dislikes you. It's not that somebody's going against you. It's the fact that, hey, you have these issues that people don't realize. People don't notice that this is ongoing for you. People don't realize and pay attention to that fact. Sometimes some people are just so self-centered that they don't care about it. And that's a problem with society now. But it has to be spoken about. Something like that, you need to be aware. You have to be able to speak on it. You have to be able to speak on your PTSD so that people understand it. Some people, like I said, some people are just too thick-headed to understand and don't want to understand. The thing is you have to know that you understand yourself. Not everybody's going to agree with you. A lot are going to disagree with you, but you got to say what you got to say regardless. Some people are going to be offended. Some people are going to feel disrespected. Some people are going to understand what you're saying. Like I said, with the whole Margarine Green and the military and all that stuff, some people agree with that issue. Some people agree with the fact that what's happening is happening, and some people don't. In your case, it's just like, hey, the military gives you that camaraderie. The military gives you that family that you didn't have, or it gives you a whole new family. But when you start discriminating on certain people within that family because of the way they look or something like that, that's what messes up the military. That's what taints it as a bad organization. It's a great fucking organization because if you hear everything, every veteran, it's the people they miss. It's not the organization. It's not the fucking military. It's the people. You always miss the people. But when you start talking bad about it, it's just like, oh, you're unpatriotic. You're a communist. What else have I been called? I can't even think of it. But I've been called a whole bunch of shit just because when I speak on a bunch of these podcasts and these episodes, it's just like me talking about issues that I had with the military. This is something that's difficult. It's hard to take care of yourself and take care of others when you have discrimination against you. When some people that have gotten out, like I said, the friend of mine that reached out to me, I haven't spoken to him in 2.5 years. He reached out to me because it's like, look, man, it's an uphill battle when you're trying to fight for soldiers and always trying to do right by the soldiers, but the leaders that be and the people above you in position just try to make it seem like you're the bad apple because you're fighting for soldiers. So then you get discriminated upon because you're the guy that actually fights for the soldiers. So they avoid you. They don't try to put you into the thing for that. And with that, my man, it was just like the military does that to you. It takes away a piece of you, but you gotta learn. But that's why we having this conversation, because it's just like this is something that needs to be brought to light, because it's not only in the military, it's not only in certain places, like it's everywhere that it happens, that this discrimination happens on certain people. Everybody can be discriminated upon, and it's a sad thing to say. It's a hard thing to say that everybody can be discriminated upon. Soldiers get discriminated upon by so many things, and some get selected by the wrong things. Some get selected because of the fact that it's just like, oh, you were a PT stud, you can exercise well and all that, and they were shit fucking leaders. Then you had the people that were actually great leaders that maybe didn't go above and beyond with their ACFT or their APFT, and they didn't get the position. So you discriminated on somebody because of the fact that they didn't run a 2-mile run in like 13 minutes flat. That's another form of discrimination, but that doesn't get spoken about. That doesn't get mentioned. People don't resort to that because it's just like, we're not going to talk about that because, oh, this guy's makes the Army look good. And that's what I think the problem is just like trying to make people look good that's causing this issue. People are trying to be made to look good instead of actually helping the people that need the assistance or giving people the opportunities of that. So that's something that people need to understand, that it's just like, yeah, I'm not knocking you. Well, I am kind of knocking you, but I don't dislike you for it. I just want you to be better. That's all it is. I just want y'all to be better. A lot of y'all ain't better. A lot of y'all ain't good. A lot of y'all need to be told that y'all trash leaders. A lot of y'all need to give opportunities to those people that you thought were not good enough because of whatever quality you thought wasn't good enough. The instance with me when I was in Hawaii, I was put into the position of platoon sergeant, and I got 2 people promoted that if it weren't for me sending them to the board when I was the platoon sergeant sitting in, they would have never gotten sent to the promotion board. Why? Because the person that was in charge didn't think they were ready. They thought they weren't ready. Even though they didn't observe them, they didn't actually counsel them, they didn't pay attention to anything that they were doing, they just thought they weren't ready. But they did everything they had to. They executed when they had to. Everything that was asked of them was done. They led their soldiers and all that, and it's just like, and that's one thing I'll tell you. One thing I gotta say, when it comes to situations like that, you deal with people in the military, and you have to understand that not everyone is there for you. So this is for average ginger. We're just having a conversation with you now. This is something that you need to understand, that not everybody was there for you, not everybody understood you, not everybody liked you, and not everybody wanted you to benefit. That's something that I think it's hard to deal with, because you thought people had your back. You thought people. No problem, man. It's just like this is what we have to do as veterans. We got to uplift each other, because the thing is sometimes you run into situations like that where it's just like people ain't uplifting you and they're not taking care of you and they're not looking out for you. I was lucky, like my last duty station, I had a couple of friends, the 4 horsemen, as we called ourselves, that it was like we went everywhere, we looked out for each other, needed anything. I got into a car wreck. I didn't have a car. If I needed a car, they would just like, just ask. You don't even have to, I don't care what it is. They didn't even ask for gas. It was just like, hey, here's the keys, stuff like that. Shit like that happens a lot. The thing is sometimes you go into groups and some people just are mad at your success. And you got to understand that. Some people are just mad at your success. Some people don't give a shit about you. Some people are just mad at the fact like, damn, this motherfucker doing better than I am. He's progressing. I'm not. I'm stuck in the same fucking spot. And a lot of people don't know that, and a lot of people don't understand that, and that's one thing that people need to realize, that it happens a lot. And that's something that you need to realize, like not even just in the military. That's just anywhere. You have people that just dislike your effort, dislike your potential, dislike your ability to be better. Some people are just like that. In the military, you run into those people. You run into those people a lot. Especially when they know you're going to surpass them. Which is the complete opposite of how I was, because it's like you can ask all my soldiers. I told them, I'm teaching you all the shit I teach you because you're supposed to be better than me. I don't gain anything from it. I was just like, at one time, I'm going to do my time and I'm going to get the fuck out. But at the same time, if I've taught you everything I've known, now you know it, you're going to learn more, know what I know, and then you're going to teach it to the next guy. You're going to teach it to your squad. When you're that team leader, when you're that squad leader, when you're that platoon sergeant, and it expands and it actually makes the military better that way. Why? Because I'm not trying to downgrade you. I'm trying to build you up so you can build the people around you. Because I got that from that deployment. It was just like the people around me, I didn't fuck with all of them. But it brought me closer to them, even though I didn't fuck with them. And that's something that you need to realize. It's just like, hey, you are doing what you got to do. You take care of yourself. Don't give a fuck about anybody else. Fuck them. Like that's what Major told me. I'm gonna have him on this podcast at one point. He just straight up told me, fuck him. That's what he told me. That was his guidance. That was his mentorship. When I was doing what I was supposed to do, I was making sure to execute, taking care of everything, and I was being micromanaged, and I was about to lose my shit. He just told me, fuck him. Do what you got to do. And I kept on progressing, kept on moving up, kept on getting put in positions, doing things, and being recognized for it. And he wasn't getting none of that recognition. And what was he? He was mad about the shit. Did I give a fuck? No. Because my mentor told me to go fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him. Don't care about it. If people ain't looking out for you, those ain't the right people that are around you. Plain and simple. If those, the thing is like, it's hard for people because it's like you want to be a part of that group sometimes, and sometimes that group is not the group that you need to be around. And that's something you need to understand. So when it comes to that, like you being discriminated upon because you have your issues and stuff like that, and people don't want to associate themselves with you and stuff like that, fuck them. That's not the people you need to be around. Those aren't the people that you should be hanging around with, or the people you should try to have reunions with. Fuck them. There's a small amount, like the people that reach out to me, or the people that it was just like, hey man, I'm in town, you want to meet up, grab a drink, get something, cool, I got you. And those are the people I know, and those are the people I've added. They have me on Facebook, or they know I've served and I've helped them. They've helped me, and it's just like those are the people that they know. Is just like, look, if I got you on Facebook, I fucks with you. If I don't got you on Facebook, I probably don't fuck with you like that. But either we had a bonding moment or something like that, where it's just like, yeah, you cool. Now, from all of that group, I'm not gonna say I'm just gonna go, oh yeah, I'm gonna quit plans to make sure to hang out with them. But some of them is just like, oh, I'm in town. Where, bro? When? Where we gonna be at? And that's it. But it's you understanding that it's just like, look, you have what you went through. You are dealing with stuff. You gotta make sure you take care of that. Gotta make sure you take care of yourself. This isn't the first conversation I've had with people. I've had a couple of these conversations on Twitch where I've had people just like reach out and just like, hey, I had one person just come out and say, like, I need somebody to talk to. We had somebody here on this channel. It's crazy how you seem like how I am, and everyone I know in person are fucking super different. The thing is just like I've gone through a lot in life. I've gone through a lot because of the military. I also have PTSD. But I've gone and I've sought help, and it's helped me how to cope with it and help to understand it more. It's allowed me to help understand others better, where I didn't understand PTSD from somebody else's point of view. With being diagnosed with it, getting treatment for it, it allows me to see it in a different light. Me, I think outside the box, and I think differently, and that's why a lot of people gravitated towards me, because I didn't do the this is my way or the highway shit. It was just like, look, you got an option. We're going to try it. That shit works. We're going to tweak it, and we're going to run with it. If we can get home faster and it's done right the first time, I'm all for it. I ain't about taking shortcuts and the shit is going to be fucked up and we got to do it again. Ain't about that life. But it's how it is, because the thing is the PTSD affects everybody differently. PTSD doesn't affect everyone the same way. Some people it's the trauma, some people it's just certain triggers and stuff like that. And that's something that once you learn that is different. But if you yourself feel that you are in a worse spot because of certain people, those aren't the people you should be around. Those aren't the people you should concern yourself with. Those aren't the people that you should gravitate. Those are the people you gravitate away from. Those are the people that you remove from your sphere. Had one guy here earlier that was just like, his name is Airborne. He was just talking about like, hey man, I was like, I have an issue. I want to file for disability and stuff like that. And it was just like, I want to make a claim for PTSD, but I don't want to claim that and say that because I don't want them to Baker Act me. And I was just like, what the fuck is the Baker Act? So the Baker Act is basically like, if you're saying you're thinking you're having like suicidal ideations, that they will just hold you for 72 hours. And I told him, I was like, bro, if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's just like, at the end of the day, you're taking care of yourself. It's not concerning yourself with what somebody else said or how somebody else feels. Don't give a fuck about what anybody else feels. And it's just like, don't Don't concern yourself with what anybody else thinks. If that means that you will get assistance and it will help you get better, do it. It doesn't matter what somebody else thinks. The military always gave that stigmatism as like, oh, you get behavioral health, you're weak. Fuck no. I was just like, why do you think we have such a high fucking suicide rate with people? It's because of the fact that people didn't get the assistance because somebody above them told them it wasn't needed, or you're weak for it, or you shouldn't do it. And that's where we have the fucking issues we have now. If you have a problem and you know you have a problem, address it and take care of it. It don't matter what anybody else got to say. If you got to get fucking... I work at the same time. And that's the problem. It's just like, as a veteran, somebody telling me, like me here, and I always was told not to get help, is something that pisses me the fuck off. Cause fuck them. That's what I gotta say, Virginia. That's what you can't pay attention to those people. Those people don't have your well-being in mind. It don't matter what the fuck they say. At the end of the day, this is your life. You are the only person that's gonna take care of you. You're working, like you said, right? Are any one of these people paying your bills? Any one of them paying your bills? Anyone putting the hours you put in? Anyone making you breakfast? Anyone buying you breakfast? Anyone making you dinner or getting you dinner? Anyone folding your clothes, doing your laundry, stuff like that? Those people don't fucking matter. Those people don't fucking matter at all. Don't pay them no mind. You get assistance because you need assistance. Look, you have more strength than them to be able to say, you know what, I'm gonna go get help. As a man, it is difficult because us men, we don't like to ask for help for shit. We don't want assistance with nothing. We'll figure it out. And we lose too many men because of that. Because it's just like, oh, I don't need the help. I'm not gonna go get help. If you need help, go get it. No matter what the fucking next person say. The thing is there's resources with that. You can take FMLA if it comes to it. Or just try to take a leave or take some vacation time to go get seen or do what you have to do. Don't take it upon, don't rely on somebody else. You're the only person that can take care of yourself, man. You're the only person that can take care of yourself. Nobody else is going to take care of you. Nobody else looks out for you. You're the only person that can do that. You stressing yourself out for that, there's no reason to it. You just adding more trauma to yourself because you're putting even more weight on your shoulders. I can't even say the fucking word. You're putting more weight on your shoulders by adding stress that's unnecessary. And that's one thing, like going to therapy and stuff like that, you start realizing and you start getting that information. There's like certain things you just can't control. Certain things you got to take care of yourself. Somebody can assist you with it. It's not always going to work. It's not always going to be beneficial to you. But you have to go through the motions to learn where you need to be, what you have to do, what you have to achieve. And that's something that most people don't understand. Most people don't understand that. And it's just like, you have to make sure you are providing for yourself. You're working. You have PTSD. You ain't the only one. There's many going through that. But you have to be able to understand that and go forward and not give a fuck about what anybody else says about that issue. This is your issue to deal with. None of the people that you are stressing about or thinking about or saying anything are in those therapy sessions with you. Not one of them has offered us like, hey man, can I go to therapy with you? Not one. So why the fuck do you care about what they think? You shouldn't. But it is like, but it's just looking at it that way. It's just like, that's when it comes to like you getting discriminated upon because of stuff like that. That's basically what we talking about. It's just those issues there. It's just like, for having a beard, for being a woman, for being a minority, for not being a minority, for everything. Is like there's things people get discriminated upon, but if it doesn't get spoken about and people don't understand and don't have a way of having a discussion about it, that's where we lose out on people. That's where we lose out on society, and we lose society as a whole because we can't have these conversations. Now, if I would have just been discriminatory towards you and you just came into my channel, said you had PTSD, I was like, look, bro, I don't want to hear it. How am I helping? How am I helping the situation? How would I be benefiting the situation or showing the world like, hey, I'm not gonna assist? I was like, no, I'm a veteran. I go through the same issue. I've dealt with issues and I've seen other people deal with the issues. My opportunity to be able to assist somebody, I can't take that away from people. I can't take that away from myself because that would make me feel like shit. But at the same time, it's just like, that's what I said. If somebody wanted to be an asshole, they could have just been like, look, bro, go somewhere else with that. And that's why it's just like, that's why I got this channel, is just like to be able to talk to people, be able to provide people information, give them guidance, do what we got to do. But it's just like, I was like, it's just, it is what it is, man. It's just like you run into certain people like, hey, you were just destined to jump on this channel today. That's all it was. You were just destined to be on this channel. You just needed some guidance, and YouTube decided to guide you to me, and you just needed to hear what you had to hear. That's all it was. That's all it is. And just like, but sometimes shit just has to be said. Some people don't like to hear it. Sometimes it's wrong, and if I'm wrong, call me out on it. I'm gonna be upset probably, but then I'm gonna understand. It was like, you know what? I was wrong. My bad. I fucked up. And stuff like that. But if it's just like, hey, you just wanna, if I'm just gonna be disrespectful towards it after this, it's like, it's the whole thing. Like, that's what I said, like with the politicians, military, it's just like people get offended by stuff that gets said or stuff that they misinterpret and they want to get offended and say something. I was just like, that's the wrong answer, because then we can't have a conversation. We can't get anywhere because of that. We can't do that. Like, I'm 100% too. I'm trying to assist people to get to 100%, or just to give them a knowledge or basis on what benefits they have. Do I get anything out of it? I get a couple of bucks here from YouTube. Nothing crazy. I'm already 100% PNT. I'm good to go. I ain't got shit to worry about right now. I got my family, my health, beat the fuck up, but I got it. I deal with depression. I deal with PTSD. I deal with anxiety. I deal with all this stuff. And it's just an outlet that I have, that I'm able to talk to people about the issues I have and how to help them with the issues they're dealing with. It's something that's hard to deal with and it's hard to talk about. But the thing is I want to have these discussions. I do these discussions for the reason that it's just like, you know what? Some things need to be said. Some people just need to hear, and some truth needs to be said. Where, hey, if you discriminating on me because I have a fucking beard, like I said, I got a pro mask. I can put that shit on. If my shit fucking seals, what's your excuse for me not being able to have a beard in the military? I have a medical reason. I didn't get a profile. I got laser therapy, which is one of the options. I could have gotten a profile. I could have been walking around like this. You think if I would have fucking been able to walk around like this for fucking the next 10 years that I would have gotten promoted to the positions I would have gotten promoted to? Fuck no. But the funny thing is like when they came to like the processing of the stuff, they no longer wanted the DA picture in there. And that was why. Because people were being discriminated upon because of their fucking picture. So that just shows you the military has been doing this shit for fucking a long ass time. And it's just like, you were discriminated upon, so we gonna take away the pictures so that, hey, we don't want to see the person. We just want to see what their documentation is so that we know what the fuck they are. So you mean to tell me people were being discriminated upon because of what they looked? Tried to help also. They just when I called to see how life is and said they would ask whether I need help. Yeah. That's why it was like I've been helped, like I've helped countless people. I have helped countless people right now with their claims. People just reach out to me, but it's people I served with, people that I'm really cool with, that I served with. We were in some like fucking suck, basically, and it's just like, bro, we went through this, we made it through this, and they reach out to me and I'm just like, look, man, I seen your channel, I see what you do, just had a couple of questions, and I'm just like, hit me with it. I don't want nothing. One of them that I've been helping actually told me, she was like, you know what, you should be getting paid for this. And I told her, I was like, look, if I serve with you and I fucked with you, I will help you as best to my ability and show you what you need to do to get where you need to get. I'm not going to charge you because I served with you. I appreciated you because you showed me something and you taught me something while I was serving. I learned something from you. That's why I have no issue teaching you back. But for some people, it's just like, look, hey, go here, check this out, look at this. There's like some people, they need the information, and it's just like, I'm not helping everybody. I'm here, man. I just like, look, I don't like, when it comes to outside sources outside of the people I know and it's through the channel, it's via email. Anything via email, that would be the best way to reach out to me, stay in touch. I do a stream every Sunday. I do my workshops, which covers different topics and stuff like that, and it's just helping. And then I do these streams, pop-up streams. I just finished class. So I don't really try to, I don't want to associate, not that I don't want to associate. The thing is I want to keep it, kind of separate. Because the thing is this is basically information. I don't want it to be like, hey, I said this and I said that, or you may be like, you know what, this guy helped me out, it's good dude, he has information, you lead him to me, and then you have the issue like you just had. It was just like, they mad at you because they got 90% instead of 100. I don't want to deal with that issue because it's just like, because of the fact that it's just like, look at what you're dealing with. You helping them and they mad because they didn't get 100%. Like, bro, that's on you to fucking do. I showed you what you needed to know. I showed you what you had to do. But you mad at me because you didn't get there all the way. So what happens if I didn't help you in the first place? What happens then? Would you not talk to me then? Or like, that's why it's just like, I understand reaching out, and that's why I have it like, look, I have it with one guy, that airborne guy that I was talking to you earlier. Every Sunday, I just ask him to check in. That's it, because he was going through some shit. I was just like, look, man, we got a pack. We're going to check on each other. Every Sunday, I at least want to see you stop by, say what's up, say how you doing, and that's it. Because otherwise, I'm going to find his ass. I'm going to find your ass somehow. But guys, to get info to check. I'm like I will say, the average ginger, I deal with those issues, but I have a strong support system. I have my family. My family is very supportive. My family is my rock, basically. My wife, my kids, my mom, my sister, my fucking cousins, they are my support system. I have a support system that allows me to be able to get myself out of those black holes. And I know you understand what I mean, those black holes. They get me out of those because I've taught them and I've shown them what those signs are for me of me going down that rabbit hole. So that's something that you need to find, and you need to be able to find those triggers, those things that allow you to check in, see how you're doing, stuff like that. Like I said, look, we can check in every Sunday. You can come in every Sunday, just check in. Oh shit, anytime I have a damn live stream, you can check in and we can just shoot the shit. I got no problem with that. I shoot the shit with anybody that comes into this channel, wants to talk, wants to have a conversation and stuff. I like having these conversations because it takes me back sometimes into the military, and it gives me that camaraderie feeling, that feeling that you had when you were still serving, where it's like talking to other vets, talking about their issues, understanding like, hey, you ain't the only one that's been dealing with this dumb shit, or you went through some stupid shit too, and stuff like that. That's the stuff it is. But what's hey man, that's one thing you gotta. I tell you this: you don't have to tell. You don't have to speak on everything to your wife. There's certain things that are hard to speak on. There's certain things that are hard to be able to clarify because they may not understand. But the thing is you have to be able to show and tell your wife, these are my signs. You don't have to tell her everything, but you have to let her know how to identify what's going on with you. It's not I have to, because I don't tell my wife everything. The PTSD, the shit I deal with, the depression, I don't tell her everything. But she knows. I've told her what the signs are, and she's recognized them, and that's what helps her assist me. So that's something you have to make sure you clarify with your wife. And it's just like this is like, there's certain things that go through my head that I can never explain. I can't put into words. But when you see this, or you see this going on, this is what's going on, and this is how you got to look at it. So that's something you need to keep in mind. Keep that in mind. There's just something. It's just something that it works for me. Not saying it'll work for you. It's just, hey, it's a possibility. It may assist you in a way. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that unfortunately, I talk to myself a lot. I talk to myself a lot. As you go through therapy and you go through stuff, they will help you explain that. I do go to a therapist. I do talk to a therapist. I go every 2 weeks to my therapist, and I talk to her about the issues I have, the anxiety I deal with, the stuff with the PTSD, the stuff with the depression. And it's just like I said, it's finding those moments in life that get you out of them. That's the best way of putting it. Those moments in life where you are happy, are not concerned with other issues, are able to tune out everything else that's going on in your life. It's hard because it's not easy dealing with the issues on your own. Sometimes you got to reach out to somebody. Sometimes, like I said, you have your wife. If you have, like I said, you have issues like those night terrors and stuff. The problem is with those night terrors is like they don't go away. Even when you talk about it, you don't go away. But it's just like you have to find a way to. You have to find something that allows you to come back down from it. I don't know what that is for you, and I'm sorry I can't help in that way. But it's just like you don't know what it is. Like when you go through those night terrors, or you go through those panic attacks, or you go through those things, you alleviate yourself somehow. You have to learn to interpret that and maximize it. Is the best way I can put it. It's just like it's hard to go through those moments throughout the day, but it's just like it's like you gotta go through them, but you have to figure out how to get past them. And with time, you get better at getting past them. You get better at understanding them. The shit is still fucking there. You're still gonna have those panic attacks. You're still gonna have those anxiety attacks. You're still gonna have fucking night terrors. But it's like, hey, once you fucking had them, it's just like, all right, I had it. Okay, breathing, thinking about this. It's not even. It's kind of like formulating a plan. Doesn't mean it's necessarily gonna work, but it's having something in your mind and in your thought process that you know you can understand and work through that allows you to get better. It's not gonna go away. That's one thing that I wish they would fucking develop a way to just, it's gone. Poof, it's gone. That isn't there. They could try all the remedies. You try all the remedies, all the different factors. It's like it doesn't take the shit away. You still deal with it. More worse than others. Some not as bad. Some terrible. But it's learning how to deal with it and learning the triggers, learning how to get out of it, learning how to move. I wouldn't say past it, but move through it. I guess is the best way to be able to understand how you are and what you're going through and what you're feeling and what you're not feeling, because all that stuff gets combined and it's just like you deal with it, and it's hard because it does take a toll on those people around you. It takes a toll on your loved ones because they do see a different side of you. They see a side that's not the side that they're used to seeing. It's not the happy-go-lucky person or that person that they're excited to see all the time. It's a different person that they see, but it's something that you need to learn to distinguish what it is you're going through, and you need to learn those triggers and those alleviations. That's the only way you're gonna get. And it sucks. I can't say that's the only way you're gonna get past it, because there's no getting past the PTSD. It's a way to go through it. It's basically clearing out all the debris and going through. Basically, is the best way of doing it. You still have debris falling on you, throwing on you, and stuff like that. But that's something that is just like you go through it. You made it through. You continue to make it through, and you learn what it is that distinguishes what made it through for you. And as you keep doing that, you get better. It's something you deal with regardless. You're gonna deal with this the rest of your life. Unfortunately for us, we're gonna deal with it the rest of our lives. There's nothing we can do about that. But it's something that you can alleviate as it goes. Those terrors will still have that fucking effect of waking up in sweats or shivering or just fucking shooting up in bed and shit like that. That's gonna happen. But you'll learn to understand them. You'll learn that it's just like, okay, it was just a fucking episode. Okay, let me try to recompose myself and stuff like that. And then you learn that it's like you're gonna deal with it. But then it's just like the way you learn how to get out of the situation and deal with the situation betters with time, and it allows you to be a better person with that. Where it's like, yes, you already know that something might just like, hey, I'm gonna keep away from this. I can't watch this. I can't be in this environment. I don't like being in this space. Stuff like that. Those are the things you need to start realizing, and it makes it easier. Huh? It's okay. Go upstairs, Mama. Little one just woke up. But those are things you learn to understand as a person that deals with issues. You learn to understand that, and you learn to deal with stuff. Um, and it's different ways people deal with issues differently. So it's just making sure you take care of yourself while you're doing it, and the most important thing is take care of yourself. Don't care about what other people say. Don't worry about what other people are saying. Do what you have to do to make yourself better. Not everybody's gonna agree. A lot of people are gonna dislike you for it. A lot of people are gonna be mad about you for it or mad at you for it. But at the same time, you got to take care of yourself, and that's the most important thing you can do, and will always be able to do. Always make sure you take care of yourself. Don't do anything otherwise, and just go about it that way. But I really don't have much to say, because that just made me go through it, like through the motions of the stuff, like how I deal with it. Uh, but yeah, it's hard because like we've been talking about, it's hard when you get discriminated upon because of those issues that you deal with. A lot of veterans get that negative stigma already because it's like, oh, you're a veteran. you were at war. You like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's hard because it's like it's those factors that are there, but that's something that needs to be spoken about. We have to have those conversations with people about them. Like, just because I'm a veteran doesn't mean I can't function. Yeah, I'm not 100%. I am beat up. I am hurt. My bones don't feel the same. My mentality is not the same, but I still function. I can still be a asset to society, the same way I was an asset to the military. And it's just not being able to do things because of the discriminatory factor is what causes these issues and causes it to be a difficult topic to go over and difficult topic to deal with, because PTSD is one of those big things that people don't understand and they don't look at it the same way. Same way having this beard, same way being a minority, same way being a majority, same way being a female. Like all those different things is just like you have to keep those in mind, and those things always process themselves and they always create other things. But at the end of the day, you got to make sure you're taking care of yourself and fight for yourself. You have to be able to speak for yourself. The fact that it's like, hey, you have the ability to speak, you have the First Amendment to be able to speak. It was created for a reason because people were being silenced. And the thing is we still have people that are still being silenced, and they're fighting through it, and they're trying to get better at it, and they're trying to be better people, and they're trying to assist other people that need assistance that don't have the voice or don't have the capabilities or don't have the resources to speak. So I'll end it on that note. We'll make this another part of an episode. We'll keep all of this in there. Um, just having a conversation with people. Just be real, talk to people, do what you can with people, and get to know people better and assist people whenever you can. It's like, don't make it a thing like you owe something or you need something. Just make sure you are speaking to people and do it that way. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll end, I guess, this episode of this iteration of this little chat or bleach blonde, bad built Butch body, as Democrat Jasmine Crockett put. But we got to call people out on stuff. Make sure you're saying what you got to say. Don't hesitate to say it. Don't be quiet about the situation, and don't just disregard people because of what they're going through. Everybody has feelings. Everybody has something they've gone through. You can't disregard it. You can't judge a book by its cover. You got to know what's going on and be able to have a conversation with people in order to get to where you're getting to, or to be able to assist people to where they're getting to. But besides that, we'll call it quits for now. I love y'all. Take care. Average Ginger, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for that conversation. Hope you continue to be well. Hope you continue to progress. And I thank y'all for it. Just Cruise, signing out. Peace.